Hey man, are you ready to turn your hobby into a career? Are you ready to get money from your home or project studio? Well, this video is for you. What's up, audio engineers, producers, studio owners, and enthusiasts alike? I'm Wavy Wayne from WavyWayne.com, and this channel is all about helping you to record and mix better and faster while getting some money while you doing it. You feel me? Because can't none of us do this if we ain't getting that cheese, all right? So today, I'm going to be talking about some helpful ways for you to earn money in your studio, earn money with what you already have, where you already are. These are tips that have worked for me, and I'm just going to be here to share them with you so you can start earning today. So along this financial journey, and really with any financial planning that you ever want to do, it all starts with the correct mindset. You need to be realistic about how much money you need to make and how much money you want to make. Now, how do you do this, you might be asking? And that all comes down to one word, the B word. Yeah, a budget. You got to sit back and come up with a budget. What are your monthly expenses, right? So, or even weekly expenses. How much does it take you to live a week, for whether that's transportation, your eating, right? All of that, you calculate your weekly expenses, multiply that by 4 to get your monthly expenses, right? Including all your bills. If you're renting a commercial space for your studio, how much that costs? How much does the internet cost? Think about every single little factor and add those up. Then you also need to add in factors like entertainment, you know, stuff that you want to do. You want to take your lady out. You want to take your kids somewhere. You need to add that into the budget too. Maybe even a pair of new sneakers. All right. Add all that into the budget. Don't forget about the licensing the software licensing, the subscriptions, and all of that too. So every single thing that you have to pay for every month, you need to write it down, make it very clear so that you can see that bottom line. All right. Next, you obviously gonna multiply that by 12 or even just work with that 1 month for now, right? But then we need to come up with a plan to actually get that amount of money. So how much, if you divide that by, let's say 30, and let's say that, for example, you got, just to keep it easy, you said I need $1,000 a month or all of my expenses. If I divide that by 30, that's gonna get me what, 300 or how much is that? 30 something dollars a day?
A lot of boring math later.
If I got $1,000 of expenses a month and I'm gonna divide that by 30, that means I need to make at least $33 a day, right? Now, obviously your expenses might be a little bit more than that if you're living in America, because Lord knows stuff is high. So starting with your budget there, you know exactly how much you need to make per day just to meet your basic requirements, right? From there, you can start to think about pricing, right? Once you know how much you need to make a day or how much you need to make per week, again, so let's say if I multiply that by 7, that means I need to make $233 every single week. Now, if you are a recording studio, use that number to set your hourly rate. If you need to make $233 a week, maybe you need to go ahead and divide that and say, hey, okay, if I charge $10 an hour for studio time, then I need to be doing at least 24 hours worth of recording throughout the week to make that happen, okay? So really strategically breaking down that budget and being calculated about what you need to do will help you to fill in those gaps. So if you know you need to do 24 hours of studio recording this week, then you get to picking up the phone, making flyers. Hey, if you buy 4 hours, you get a 5th hour free, giving deals, you know, doing things like that to help you reach your goal. That's a huge problem, is that a lot of us don't have a financial goal with our business. And if you don't have a financial goal, then you're just going to end up wherever you end up, man. I always tell my son, a goal is like GPS, right? If you don't put the GPS in before you start driving, you might end up somewhere you don't want to be. You're going to get somewhere, but who knows where you're going to go. So you need to write down your goals, make it very clear, very exact. That way you know exactly where you're going to end up. All right, so the next thing is for y'all to really decide how much time you're willing to trade for money.
Do it! Just do it!
Now, money ain't everything, and a lot of times as engineers, we need to trade time for money. So that's not a bad thing. You're probably already trading time for money at a job right now. How much of your time are you willing to trade for money? Does that mean like you might need to also factor in how much time you're not willing to trade for money, like, you know, family time, dates, parties, going to the movies, whatever it is that you want to do to be happy in your life. How much of that are you willing to give and take, sacrifice to do what it is that you want to do financially in your studio? So be realistic with yourself. How much time are you willing to trade for money each week in order to hit your goals? Now, if you're not willing to do 24 hours worth of recording sessions each week to hit that financial goal, there are other ways to do it, and I'm going to explain that right now. The next thing that y'all need to think about is how to make money without trading time. All right, how to make money without trading your time. Now, this can include stuff like renting your studio out to other producers or engineers. So if you're not always in the studio, especially if you have a commercial space, if you're only there sometimes, you know, maybe you work 8 hours a day and you can rent it out to someone else to use the studio for the other 16 hours a day that, you know, it's just sitting dormant. Maybe you got to work another job that takes you away from the studio. This is something that I did for years. While I was teaching at the college, I would be renting my studio out to other engineers and producers because, hey, for like 10 hours out the day, I wasn't using it. I was probably only using the studio for like 6 hours a day at night after I got done with my day job. So if you're in that situation and you have access to a commercial space, that is a great way to supplement the income without actually trading your time for the money. Another idea is to maybe start a record label and trade your services for money in the future. So basically, when I think about a modern record label, especially as engineers, right, you can create a label to where you trade services today for money that you might get in the future off royalties. Obviously, you want to do this on artists that you feel that you have belief in. You think they're going to go somewhere. So you may exchange, in exchange for free or reduced price recording time, you can exchange royalties on the back end for whenever they start to sell that music. That way, the time that you put in today will get you residuals in the future, all right? So that's a great way to actually start to accumulate not only artists that's under your belt, but you're getting that mailbox money, you hear me? Getting that mailbox money, that money that you wasn't expecting, those checks that you wasn't even thinking about. Super, super key to growing and using your time wisely so that you can do other things without always trading your time for the dollars. Another way that you could get royalties include songwriting and also making beats. So there's a lot of websites nowadays that allow you to do beat leases. So you can upload your songs onto those, upload your beats and lease those beats out if you are also a producer. And then songwriting, think about that too. If you help someone to write a song, you get credits on those songs and you can receive royalties from those in the future as those songs do well as well. So all of those avenues are open to us as engineers and producers and music makers. So keep that in mind. You don't always have to trade your time for the money. And one other thing that I will add here, just in case you down with it, is gonna be renting out your gear. Now, some of us have an excessive amount of studio gear. We just got a lot of stuff, right? If you are okay with renting out your studio gear, maybe loaning out microphones, you have an extra mixer that somebody could use for a live event. Maybe you have a live PA system, right? You can rent that stuff out to other people and they could use it and just pay you for the rental, man. Like, don't just have your stuff sitting around not making money. When you buy studio equipment, it's an investment. So that investment means it ultimately needs to be working back for you, and you need to get creative with ways to get that return on your investment. So my last tip for y'all today is going to be for you to explore services outside of music production. Explore providing services outside of music production. Now, this could be stuff like podcast recording and mixing. You could create sample packs for people. I even have done jobs with schools, right? So where I had school come in every year for do their project and they would record poems, right? So that could be another thing you could even offer, to even go up to the school with a mobile rig and record some of the teachers' lessons or something like that, right? To create audio books, right? Recording audio books is huge. Recording commercials for the radio, huge market for that. So those things require the same skills that you already have, just using them in a different application, and that can just open you up to more potential clients so that you can make more money in the studio. Also, don't forget that you could do sound for film, you could do Foley, you could do archival, and even audio restoration projects in your studio with the same skills that you already have. I'm Wavy Wayne from WavyWayne.com. I want to see you make money. I want to see you grow in the studio. It's so much more fun when you're doing what you love and making money from it. So use these tips, start to apply them, because I can tell you all the gems all day, every day, but if you don't get to action, it ain't going to work for you. This will be just another YouTube video that you watch and wasted another 10 minutes of your life. All right. So go ahead right now, get to action, implementing at least one of these things. If you haven't already started with the budget, I would definitely recommend that you start with the budget. Explore ways that you could probably make more money by not trading your time for the money. Explore ways that you could offer services that are not music production related, man, and keep an open mind, stay creative out there, and be dope.